You're now listening to episode 17, Star of Play Football, with myself, Theo, as always, and Kojo. What you saying, man? You good?
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. It's Friday. How can I not be happy? You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. I hear that. Loud and clear.
How you
Loud and
doing?
clear.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, like you know, Friday, best day of the week.
Mm.
Yeah, man, a lot to get through. A lot to get through in this episode. So I'm looking forward to this one. But before we get into the episode, as always, make sure you go to the YouTube channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go to our social accounts as well. And also the audio is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you're an audio listener, make sure you go over there for your daily commute. Make sure you go and listen to the podcast on there as well. But we're gonna start straight away, jump straight into it, man. Poor Papa, unfortunate, man. I do feel sorry for poor Papa. I'm not gonna lie. Poor Papa has been banned for 4 years after failing an anti-doping test. Something that came up, I think, back in the last year. For those that are unaware, I think it was after a game against Udinese, where it was initially identified that he had high levels of testosterone in his sample A. I believe sample B has come back now, obviously with the same conclusion. So it looks like he's now been banned for 4 years. He is gonna, from following the statement, he is gonna come out and appeal it. He's still very adamant that he has done no wrong. But Kojo, man, what's your thoughts, man? A player that will, if he's not, he doesn't win his appeal, he'll be, I think, 34 when he comes back from the ban. So is this the end of Pogba? Is this the final time we'll see Pogba?
If he doesn't win the appeal, then yeah, man, it's a sad story because you're talking about a World Cup winner, and when you say World Cup winner, he wasn't part of the squad. He was a main part of the squad, scored in the final. Keep off his France. He's won accolades at both his clubs because he's only ever played for Juve and Man United. But there's already the case where people are speaking about, has he ever maximized his potential? Was he ever that guy? Is he down? Now you've got this as well. But I'll say this about the ban. The ban for me is outrageous. 4 years sounds like they're just trying to make an example out of him for no reason. Because if you look at all the bans that we've had in football, I mean, football's changed over the years, laws have changed, whatever. But you go back to even Maradona. I know Maradona and Pogba, if you're talking about their names and what they did for the sport, it's not comparable. But, Maradona got caught, I think, 2-3 times in the 90s alone. And then, you're talking about, or maybe the 80s, 1 or 2. And then, some other cases where, like Adrian Mutu, for example, was with cocaine and he got 7 months. I know, obviously, his football story completely changed after that. But regardless, the point being, he was, and many others have been on heavier stuff. I've done worse, and they've got nowhere near. 4 years is extreme. It's extreme. Telling someone to not play football, which is their career, for 4 years is very extreme. I was thinking he'd probably get a year out, and maybe be told to do maybe extra community stuff. I mean, the footballers do community stuff anyway, but maybe stop it up a little bit. That's what I thought I was going to head towards this. For me, it's outrageous, man. I think it's quite frankly a BS call, and he better appeal it, and he did better conversation and better with that. I think he will plead his innocence, but I also think he also will expect that he must to be banned. But I just think the year ban, the 4-year ban is just it's out of pocket. And if it's 4 years, when he comes back to football, he's not going to a big club. I doubt he'd even get moved to Saudi Arabia, for being honest. I think you're looking at maybe an MLS, maybe, but if not, he'd have to settle for maybe a lower club in Italy or in France, something along those lines. So yeah, the appeal is big. It will determine whether he has a career left or not, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I do get it from. I mean, obviously, it looks like he's banned to rights. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if the sample is correct and whatever the banned substances that he's taken, whether he's willingly taken that or unwillingly taken that, then it's on a list. Do you know what I mean? It's on a list of things that you're just prohibited from. I think there are exemptions where there's like an exemption list of when you can use it. I think there was a cyclist, I can't remember, a couple of years ago, Tour de France. He done that.
Armstrong.
No, not Armstrong. I'll find out the name in a bit for you. I feel like his name was Wiggins or something, not Bradley Wiggins either. But
Mm.
anyway, there was a cyclist anyway, Tour de France. He'd done the same thing, and he used a banned substance, but he was on like this exemption list where he was able to do for asthma reasons. He was asthmatic or something, and he was able to do it. So I know Nana, I think, got 12 months for taking something that his wife had prescribed or something, and he unwillingly didn't realize that there was a banned substance in there, and he took that. I think
Yeah.
got 12-month ban when he was at Ajax. So I get
Yeah.
it. I do get it, but I think the 4 years is the maximum you can give someone as well. I'm sure I read that it's either you can go from a range of like 12 months to 4 years. I think is the maximum they can give someone. So they've
Right.
literally gone for the full thing for him and for Paul Pogba. And I think I think it's harsh though. I think they've done it because it's Paul Pogba. Do you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah.
they've done it because they know that he's this kind of flashy brand type player, a bit like a David Beckham kind of esque player where he's not just a footballer, he's actually a brand as well. And I'll be honest, man, there's got to be some undertones in there. Like this whole episode's going to be filled with undertones. We're going to get onto other stuff, but I feel that, you know, had this been like I don't know, even like a David Beckham, let's use him as an example. I don't think he's getting a 4-year ban. I don't.
No, hell no.
I don't think he gets a
Oh.
ban. He might get a little hefty fine or a little 6 months here, or they might even just cover the whole thing up. Do you get what I mean? But I wanted to ask you as well, because there was a thing about Paul Pogba being blackmailed by his brother not too long ago. Do you think the two things might be linked where this kind of things happen, and it could just be that he was being blackmailed by his brother? I think he came out, didn't he? And I think his brother went to trial, or he's going to trial for it. Do you think the two are linked? Do you think maybe he has unwillingly taken this, but he could have been spiked or anything? Do you know what I mean?
Anything could happen. I mean, the whole thing with his brother, you know, with the story's gone. We hear witch doctors and so many different things about what's going on there. But there was a certain amount of blackmail. The funny thing about the whole saga that he's had is his whole career has just been based off media and people just trying to ruin him one way or another. There's been over the top criticism. There's been asking to do things that just seem out of the ordinary. You know, it's weird. You know, and yes, he was an inconsistent player, and so, but that doesn't mean you use that as fuel to sort of just build up a level of criticism that's not warranted. From you can go from Gary Neville saying that he committed an act of treason for missing the penalty at Man United. You can go.
Oh, we're gonna get on to Gary Neville, don't you?
Sorry, all right, cool. Where? Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, wait.
Souness and his I mean multiple, even after Pogba's gone, he's still been talking about it. I know he gets asked a question, but sometimes he just say, look, that was done. You know, he's not here anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Still harps on about him, his family situation. But that's the family one always baffles me because I mean, it looks like he always looked after his mum in particular, you know, make sure that she was fine. And, you know, even in social media activity, there wasn't someone that was out on town partying at the time. It was him dancing at home with his brothers. Things that people do with their family members, you know, having fun.
Yeah.
But he was always criticised for that as well. So, look, if his brother has some sort of involvement, you know, we obviously can't speculate because it will be alleged, but I'd hope not. I'd hope that his brother will not at least try to ruin his career to that extent. But I guess if you're trying to already blackmail him, then you're doing a lot as it is. So, I just hope that he just doesn't get as long as a ban after the appeal when they can sort of just get himself back on his feet and keep going, man. But Pogba's a smart man. He's a businessman. He'll find a way to look after himself and do what he needs to do. So I'm not worried about him in that sense, but I'm worried about him because I know he loves football. Like anybody else.
I'm gonna say, like, obviously he's anticipated probably that his career was going to come to an end in the next 5-6 years anyway. So I think when you're a top footballer, you've been on top money, you know, you'd like to think financially that you've secured your kids' futures with the money that you've probably seen and the sponsorship deals, the commercial deals, the signing on fees, all the rest of it. You would have hopefully secured enough financially to be happy and whatever. But I say be happy, but you know, when you're a footballer, I don't think, you know, it's almost like being in prison without being in prison, I'd imagine, when you can't play football, when you can't do something, you know, you're trying to do something, you just can't do it. So it's Yeah, it's a strange one. It's a strange one for me. I think the last bit on Pogba, because I think he's contracted until the summer of 2026 with Juventus. So it's a mad one because obviously he's banned now. So what happens there? Did they then get some of that money back? Do you know what I mean? There's a whole kind of worms to be open there because obviously he signed a contract. He's probably been given a signing on fee or an X fee. This fee is for X. This fee bonus is for X. And
Yeah.
you'd assume some of those bonuses would have been over the duration of the period of the contract. So, do they have, there's going to be a termination of contract? Did they keep him on the books till that? Do you know what I mean?
I assume with football contracts anyway, I always assume this, that if a player obviously is being banned from football from something that doesn't concern the club, then yeah, they have all rights to terminate the contract and not pay him anymore. So I'm assuming that will be cut. But maybe because I haven't terminated his contract yet, so maybe they're looking to see what happens with the appeal.
With the appeal.
Because if he's out for a year, you could, football clubs always rehab their players outside of, it's just what it is. So I think for them, they'd hope that wouldn't be the case and he'd be okay to come back within a year. But look, Juventus have a very special relationship with Pogba. It's very special. This is not one of the, with the sign he did well, made money from each game back. They love him. They genuinely love him.
Which makes me think they might keep him. Even if they win the appeal, like you said, it's 12 months. I feel they might keep him there. Fans love him, club loves him, and let's be honest, if he's taken a substance that he's unwillingly taken without really understanding, I know it's all down to the player. The player's meant to know what's going into his body or whatever. I get that, but if he's unwillingly taken something, it's hard. It's a harsh punishment, man. It's such a harsh punishment, in my opinion.
I always think, like, when it comes to these performance enhancement things, so many prescribed drugs and whatever, they have so many things in them, and the last thing that anybody does is look at the back and read every single ingredient. Nor do you know how many of these things are actually performance enhancing. They don't come to mind, So that's something that I think people need to realize. It's similar to what's his name, Colotori as well. He took his wife's diet pills, didn't he? Obviously, with diet pills, obviously, yes, that's something to boost your body to, but I doubt he took it thinking, oh yeah, this slimming thing will make me go outside and perform better. It's just a fat loss thing. I'm trying to just weight a lot quicker, so it's just something to consider. I'm not saying this should be more lenient. You have to do what you have to do.
You've got to ban the players if they're doing it knowing they're taking something that is enhancement or whatever. Then yeah, of course, ban them. But you just jogged my memory. So yeah, it was Bradley Wiggins. It was. I remember now. So he took a weight loss thing, but it didn't decrease his power. It didn't decrease his stamina. But they allowed him to take it. He actually won the Tour de France. I think it was only a couple of years ago. They allowed him to take it, and but I think he done it for asthmatic reasons or something like that. So it kind of, I think even that exempt list is a bit mad, because how do you fall into that category? How do we know Paul Pogba hasn't got some underlying issue that he's had to take this thing? And do you know what I mean? He obviously has to put that case forward as his reason, but he could have put that forward as a reason. But yeah, I mean, I still think he might get the Saudi move. I can see him possibly getting a Saudi move at 34, because I think he'll still play football, whether he's not playing it competitively, but he'll still want to kick a ball around. He'll still keep himself fit, hopefully. He'll still keep himself in good shape. And I think if he does all those things, then he could easily get a move to Saudi 34. If the Saudi League is still in that position in 4 years' time, I think he could get a move there.
He could. That's the one thing that I think is a saving grace, because I think that the one thing that I always thought about Saudi Pro League is, I think, not that they're targeting footballers who practice Islam, but if you are a footballer who practices Islam, for me, that's the perfect environment where you're in a country that the religion is prominent, and for someone like Pogba, who, again, I don't know if Ryan Giggs was fully aware, but there was I think, was it PN Sports? He was on one of the channels, and they showed a picture of him in a car, and the Pogba was in the car. They showed Pogba took a picture in the car, he didn't show his face, but you could see like maybe like lights above the on the ceiling of the car, and what's it called? He had like a TV on,
Right.
but it was prayers.
Right.
Only in this country can someone be in his car practicing his religion, and that can be turned into some sort of negative. Whether Giggsy was aware what the situation was, no, because he was showing a still image, not the actual video. So I don't wanna kill him for that. But you know, it's even that alone, the media twisted that in a crazy way for pundits to go on TV and say, "Oh, why is he doing that during game day?" You know what I'm saying? It's mad. So for me, I feel like when you go and play football there, you know that you'll be able to practice your religion freely and look after yourself. And, you know, I feel like Pogba's a peaceful person. I don't feel like Pogba's anyone that really likes trouble or drama. He's never come across to me as that kind of person. So maybe that environment would be perfect for him, where he can just go play his football, have his peace of mind, and yeah, man, just enjoy his final years as a professional footballer before he calls it a day.
Yeah, man, it's a mad shame. Hopefully, we'll probably talk about it again, regarding the appeal, how that works out, and where that goes. But